Welcome, beautiful people, to an episode of Cremas en Coquito. Today, we are going to be talking about double standards. So, double standards, being a woman, growing up in a Latin house, you see a whole bunch of double standards. Mm-hmm. So, it was super unfair, I think. My bringing up, because my brother was always allowed to go out. He was able to even just go cross the street to get groceries from my mom, and I wasn't. He was able to, I think, just have girlfriends over faster, go out with his friends faster, and way before I was, and we're twins, so we're the exact same age. But because I was a girl, I wasn't able to do half the things he was able to do and got away with doing. I think still to this day is true. You know that.
So, do you know why that was done, or do you agree with double standards?
I don't agree with double standards, but I know ultimately it's for the protection of me, which sucks because you're trying to protect me really from men and boys.
They put you, okay.
Yeah, because I'm not allowed to go to the store because, well, some crazy person's going to try and kidnap me. A man. Come on, women aren't out here kidnapping women like that.
So you believe double standards are just created
to protect girls and women, yeah.
From men.
From men. Exactly.
So there's no double standards that do not involve men? You don't think so?
I don't think so. If you could name them, sure, I'll listen. But, yeah.
All right, so let's go down some other double standards then. So, when you were growing up, you're saying that because you were a girl and he was a boy, you got different treatment, which I totally subscribe to double standards.
Oh, you and my father, of course. Yes, number one, to answer your question, yes. Like, I definitely had to do the dishes way more often, or if not every time. Like, he could get away with not doing it, I would have to pick up the slack. Mm-hmm. I couldn't say I'm busy or I need to study. He wouldn't pick up the slack. I had to set the table, serve the plates. He wouldn't even heat up his own food and serve himself. Up until how old was he?
Thank you for that. I love that. I love that training.
That's horrible. And I was like, why do I have to serve him and heat up his food? He definitely, I think he was high school or college, and I was still heating up his food.
I love it.
Serving it on a plate. Or he wouldn't even eat it. Like, crazy.
Good.
And now he cooks and serves food to other people. Came full circle.
How
hilarious.
Ironic.
Right?
Yeah. But what I will say is I do agree in double standards. The reason why I agree in double standards is because men and women are not judged correctly or judged on the same curve when you go out into the world. So even if you don't subscribe to double standards and you think we're equal and men can do what women can do, boys can do what girls can do, and everybody's in a utopia world, I don't think people look at people in that way. Like,
I agree, but I think we should all learn all the same things, especially all those basic things like driving, cooking, cleaning, not leaving the cooking and cleaning for the women, the driving for the men, because my brother was driving since he was like 8 years old, and I learned to drive at like 18, and still everyone was scared for me to go on the road and really didn't take me driving seriously because men drive, you know, and
do you believe
women get driven?
Okay, so
it's not necessary for a woman, I guess, to drive.
Whenever you drive, you know that when you're behind the wheel, you have a lot of power.
Yes.
And you have to make decisions quickly. You have to drive a certain way, to keep yourself safe and keep others safe. You know, men and women drive differently. Yeah. So I would be a little worried if my daughter or a woman was on the street more than a man, And that's not being sexist. That's not being sexist. I know overall when I look outside, when I'm driving and a woman makes a move or a woman does something, like I can tell if it's a woman driver or a male driver just by the situation. And I don't think that's being biased, it's just being observant of whatever it is. So I believe in double standards because
you think it's because we learn how to drive later in life because no one is willing to teach us?
That was you that learned to drive later in life. I don't think every woman learns to drive later in life. I don't think it's about when you learn. I just think we're different.
Oh, okay.
We're different, and just how we think differently, when we're on the road, we think differently.
That's true.
I mean, and that's just what it is. But another double standard that I want to talk about is when you're in a relationship for long term with someone, the guy can let himself go. He can be bigger.
The guy can come into a relationship big as all hell.
Yeah, and then women, you guys have to be fit or
friendly.
No, just your appearance. You would have to be fit. Like
yeah, I would have to look good. Myself, like, be fit and look put together all the time. For a man to be like, oh, smell good.
Yeah, because
everything.
Because that's how we're designed.
Like, even if we have the same job and you look all crusty, dusty, frumpy.
Yeah, because remember the double standard is you don't care about image, you care about the wallet overall, providing. Overall.
Yeah, but if you look dirty, do you think you put off the front like you have money?
What do you mean, like look dirty? Like
if you look frumpy and disheveled.
Would I think that person has money?
Yeah.
No, I don't look at the way people dress to see if they have money. I think where people shop tells you how much money they have. The company people keep tells you how much money they have. Their hobbies, what they're interested in, because when you have more money, you're interested in different things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like golf. Sometimes it's like other things. You're just introduced to other things. I think that's what defines how much money or wealth you have.
Up to what month of dating do you think a woman has to look presentable?
Are you serious? What are you talking about? A woman?
Like, okay, come on. Like, we're not this put together 24/7 makeup on, eyelashes, hair, nails done all the time.
We're not asking.
You go to work like that.
We're not asking for women to be put together, right? We're not asking for women to be put together 24/7 and have on makeup and all other stuff. Most men don't even care about this makeup and the way you guys go through filters on Instagram to make yourself look modified. I think, guys, we already know how you looked. We fell in love with you, or we at least liked you for how you looked before, right? However we met you, we think that should be the standard. And when you're out in public, when you're at home with him, I think you should make an effort to make yourself look at least presentable, right? I don't think you have to go all dolled up or whatever because you guys are not Barbie dolls and everything, but I think you should look presentable as far as like a woman, because, you know, we like to see you look good. We like to say that's
Let me just say, damn, I feel bad for you because at home I am in sweatpants.
No, I know what the reality is.
Child.
No, I know what the reality is, and trust me, I have gotten used to it over the years. So you don't have to feel bad for me.
Bun, sweatpants, big shirt.
But you're also not someone who wears makeup.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I never was. So it's not like you met me wearing makeup and now I don't.
No. Yeah, so guys, when it comes to appearance, because I know you guys will want someone who's physically appealing as well too, just like how we do. But I don't think you guys value that, and that's a deal breaker per se. Mm-hmm. If a guy is not, like, you know what I mean?
I would say before women really didn't. I think when I was like in the dating circle or whatever, mm-hmm. I would say women weren't really looking at men's appearance that as much as they are today.
Yeah,
I think, wow, in 2020 and up, women are really into appearances, I think. Like, I feel like, so when I talk to my friends I'm like, wow, you're so shallow.
Yes, and vain. And
goodness, all these lists and
but that's
crazy.
That is men and women, though. I just think social media sped everything up for everybody.
Maybe because of social media.
It has to be. Social media makes people think that they need to be perfect.
Like, oh my God. And people see, like, other men and what they're doing, how they look, and they're like, oh, I want that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think women really, what they want has evolved, for sure.
Yeah. What you guys want for sure has evolved. Because what you guys wanted before, I think was attainable. But what you guys want now, I don't think you guys are worth what you guys are asking for now. No, I don't think overall. Like I don't think overall you guys are worth. I was just
going to say there's nothing wrong with wanting that.
No. There's nothing wrong with wanting that whenever you are a type of person who deserves it, right? But I think overall, y'all are just... We have gone down as men. Like, I will say that, right? We have gone down as men. But we have accepted it. And I think as men, the man race, I think men are doing stuff. We're in a space now where we're trying to do stuff.
Get it back?
Yeah, at least all the people inside my circle, all the people who I speak to, they're trying to do better. They're trying to do stuff. They recognize what they've been doing all the time. And they know it's not been working. You know what I mean? They surround themselves with people who are doing things, so that in turn motivates them. But I don't think you guys even got to the first step of even seeing that you guys are even a problem, the problem, or anything.
The problem.
The problem sometimes.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
I kind of concur with that.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, because I don't know. When I talk to my friends now, it's just like, oh, wow. So much has changed.
Like for the better, for the worse? What do you say?
No, I definitely think it's for the worse.
Why?
And,
why is that? What has gotten worse?
I think people are more picky.
Yes.
Pickier because I guess as you get older, even though you should become less picky, women have become more picky. Because now it's like, oh, I've dated this type, I dated this type. I don't want these types. I want this man to have this. If not, I'm not wasting even my breath or time on them, not even giving them a chance.
So we're looking for, not we, you guys are looking for men to check boxes. You're not trying to form real human connections with people anymore, trying to see what chemistry is about, looking at values. You're not looking at things like that. You're looking at superficial, very low-level qualities, like how tall a man is, how short a man is.
I think women always did that.
Yeah.
But then our list, we would be like, okay, I'm going to bend here. Damn, I want him to be 6 feet, but he's not. I'll take the 5'9". But now I think a lot of women just know. I could be wrong, but when I talk to my friends now, I think a lot of women are not bending as much as women used to before.
You think women used to bend, but bend on what?
If you don't check all the boxes on my list, I'll still give it a shot.
Oh, okay, I get that. So now you're saying that women now are not willing to compromise.
There you go.
How they used to, and that's why this settle word is so prevalent now. Thrown around very loosely. I ain't gonna settle. I ain't gonna settle. Do you think that's?
I agree.
So you think women?
That's exactly what I hear all the time.
So do you think women are overvaluing themselves? Or do you think they think too highly of themselves, that's why they think they're always settling? Or do you think that women are settling?
That's a hard question. Because I never think a person should think less of themselves. I always think you should think the highest you can of yourself.
That's toxic. I understand that, but that's toxic. I think that...
Because then you think you're perfect and...
I think you should have confidence, right? Mm-hmm. But I think you should be realistic because you can think you're a 10. You can think you excel in this. When you go out into the world... You can clearly see that you're not a 10 when you're around other people. And if you say you don't see that, you have a bigger problem. So we can lie to ourselves. The world would never lie to us. Mm-hmm. So I think it's very toxic to say we should all think that we're 10s. Y'all all are not 10s, and we can see it. So if you don't see it, it's fine. We're still going to rank you.
All right. Fair enough. I guess you won that one. But, so what do you think about double standards with having female friends versus a woman having male friends?
So, when you are a guy, you pursue women, right? So you would have to trust, as a woman who's dating a guy who married a guy, we're gonna say, you have to trust that guy. So if he doesn't go out and pursue, right, unless you have one of those guys that every woman wants and it's just like women are drawn to him, right? For the common guy, if he doesn't go out and pursue, I don't think that the possibility of him cheating is that high, right?
But if he has female friends,
I mean, female friends. Like, what do you mean by having female friends?
Should a guy have female friends?
If he's married, is he in a relationship?
Anything, girlfriend, married.
I don't think in particular, right, for the most part, guys look at females and say, I want you to be my friend. You know what I mean? I don't think we have that in there. Like, yo, you look good or you have these qualities. I think you should be my friend. I don't think that's how it happens. I think females choose guys for friends, and they pick guys for friends. They put guys in a friend zone that they don't want to take any further with. Mm-hmm. But I don't think any guy looks at a female or wants to talk to a female or interacts with a female and say, I want her to be my friend. Right?
So it's easier for women, or better for women to have male friends than a guy to have female friends.
I didn't say that, because when you friend zone a guy, that doesn't mean that the guy still doesn't like you. Doesn't mean the guy still is not going to pursue you. Doesn't mean the guy's still not going to wait for his opportunity to, you know what I mean, strike.
Make a move.
Or make a move. That's what I'm saying. So it is not like easier.
So is there a double standard for that, or both shouldn't?
I don't think both shouldn't. I believe you can have friends of the opposite sex. It's all about making them comfortable with your partner. Your partner, to me, if you have a long-term partner, right, you guys share friends, you guys have individual friends, but you get the vibe. You can be around people, understand when, like, everybody acts like they're blind, like they don't know when people are really friends and
they're not friends.
Or they're not friends. Like,
I think it's harder for male friends to stay friends.
When you say male friends, like
males? If a female has a male friend, even if they're not like trying to hook up, I think the longer they become friends, I think the male would eventually try to hook up with the female friend.
Why? Why do you say that?
I don't know, because you grow closer to that female. She listens to your problems. I mean, these are all things friends do, right? Mm-hmm. And so you feel like she understands you, and maybe no other woman understands you, and she knows you deeply, and you guys hang out, and she's cool. You could treat her like one of the homies, and it's like, oh, you're my best friend. But like, I think guys always look for a relationship with their best friend. Like,
that is the goal, to marry your best friend, right? So, to marry a woman that you really know. So yeah, like I told you, guys don't, for the most part, keep women around and say, wow, I want you to be my friend. Like, we don't have, we can have female friends that we interact with every day. We have some women that we can keep as friends. That I do say. But I think in general, I don't think guys go around saying, I want this person to be my friend.
Like, she's such a good person.
She's such a good person. She would have to. She would have to be unattractive, right? She would have to be socially awkward, or something, but a nice person. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of girl could be a friend for a lifetime. Okay. You know what I mean? But if she's a normal girl and she's competing in the market like how everybody is, and you can clearly see that she looks good, mm-hmm. like I can see that she looks good, what are we playing around for?
So can there be such a thing as a best friend? Like, can you be best friends with a girl?
Best friends with a girl is the best kind of best friends, I think, right? Because
if you're in a relationship, can you be best friends with a girl? And would you be like, oh, so-and-so's coming over today, let's all three hang out, or so-and-so's coming over today by herself with me?
I think it all depends on if your woman, whoever it is that you're with long term, is threatened by that woman or not. But I believe if she's not threatened by that woman, the dynamic works, right? But in general, no.
But even if she's not threatened by the woman, should she trust it?
Don't you guys have your radar? Don't you guys know? Like, I think you should at least be open to speaking with the woman, seeing the woman, watching their interactions, and you know your man, right? So I definitely think you should watch their interactions. You should get to know them, or whatever, and at least be open to, especially if that woman was there before you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should at least be open to see what this is about.
Listen, I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'd exit stage left.
I know you already. Trust me. I know you already. You don't compete. You know your worth. You know you're not going to accept anything less. Hunty. But overall competing, though, I don't think women believe they have to compete for men. I think women think that men's standards are just so low and they can just get one of us.
That's true, too.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you guys think like that. Like, it's just like,
It is. You guys literally, y'all would date a hamster if you could.
No. We would fuck a hamster. Yeah. We would fuck anything. But what I'm talking about is definitely not just having sex, right? What I'm talking about is serious relationships. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all
form serious relationships with people just to have sex.
Do you think that we purposely are forming these relationships to have sex with you guys, or do you think
purposefully, yes, and then they turn into long-term relationships?
Yeah,
and then
those happen sometimes. Yeah. Yes. So, what do you feel about those type of relationships anyway? The ones that just happen, you guys are just like, let's say, friends with benefits, or just in a situationship, right? And then it just turns to something really good. Like, you know, something more serious and something more permanent.
That's cool. I mean,
do you think
would it last? I don't know.
You don't think if you have chemistry in the bedroom first, right, and you don't mind being around each other, you don't think everything else can come after, or do you think that you need to have a deeper connection than just the bedroom?
Okay, so I think a deeper connection can definitely be formed even if you have a sexual relationship first, but for sure, a deep connection has to be there. So if you have a sexual relationship and it doesn't turn deeper, then it won't go anywhere. It won't go further.
So you don't think a sexual relationship can be deep? You don't think like passion?
Just sexual relationship?
There are a lot of relationships that start that the sex is on fire, intensified, very deep, clouds your vision. Like, it's really emotional.
Yeah, but then like you said, it clouds your vision. So is it lust or is it a deep connection?
It is lust.
Deep connection.
It is lust, right? But lust can be mistaken for a deep connection.
Yeah,
right?
Until the fog clears. And that could take years or until the honeymoon phase is over. And then it's like, what? You don't know me. I don't know you. We just been having fun this entire time and it's been fun. So we look past everything else. Or we haven't even really studied each other or gotten to know each other. We just gotten to know each other on one level. And that's the most fun level.
Exactly.
So that's all you did. You just had fun together. So of course there's going to be a connection there if all you do with that person is have fun and not build on top of that.
Yeah, sometimes you build because sometimes a kid comes out of that. Yeah. All the fun. But I understand your sentiment. What are some other double standards? Yeah, what are some other double standards?
The fact women working, making money. So like in my profession I see a lot of women who just make barely the average amount Americans make. Right? It's like $30,000 and below. And I always ask myself like, how? Like, you're a grown person making this small income that you cannot live on, right? Not in this area, at least. But they have husbands. They are fine making whatever they're making. And their husbands accept them making whatever they're making. But a woman, if their husband was making that same amount of money, wouldn't accept them at all.
Yep, I agree.
So I think it's a definite double standards when it comes to having a career, making money, And
the expectations of men and women. Yeah, I agree. That's another double standard.
But I guess it's definitely because the role men play in a household as opposed to a woman.
Yeah.
But these are like I said, even if a person is single and they don't have a mate, like a man, a 40-year-old man telling you he makes $30,000 a year versus a woman telling you she makes $40,000 a year. It sounds different to you're like, oh, okay, you still live at home with your mom, you're female, okay, that's cool. Like, maybe you're waiting to get married to move out, and
that's another double standard.
But if a 40-year-old man is living at home with their mom, it's like, I don't even want to date him.
He's a bum.
Yeah,
he's
for
viewed
sure.
as a bum, as if it's like, why? A woman can live with her parents until she's damn near dead.
Because we need to be given away. Yeah. Like, if we're a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, also, I don't think if we weren't engaged, I don't think I would have been allowed to move out of my mom's house just to live by myself. Number one, they would have been so scared for my safety, living alone. Yeah, those are other double standards. Like a woman living by herself versus a man living by herself. What parents would allow them to do? Yeah. Even as a grown up, even after college, it'd be like, you're not gonna go live on your own in an apartment, or even just us going on vacation together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Yeah, it was after college.
What I was grown up. No, but what I was thinking about is when you want to give your daughter away, right? You know that men will do whatever, right? Whatever it is that women allow them to do, right? And if you don't save anything, like, I think that's what we're doing too much of. We're not saving enough of ourselves, right? For the marriage stage. Because for us, we feel like we're already in the final stage. Nobody has aspirations to be married. So I believe that, us
saving what though?
Something, meaning you can't go on vacation with me and actually
I hear you.
Make all these memories. Make all these memories, and you're only a temporary person in my life. Or you're going to make all these memories, introduce me to all this stuff or whatever, and then you're just going to bounce and leave. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you got to restrict, like you can't cook for your man, you can't cater to him before he's married and everything like that. I'm not saying that, because you have to show him what he's buying. You have to show him what he's going to get after he gets married. But I'm saying you can't.
Wow, when it benefits the man, you can't hold out on that.
No, because if you're trying to be a wife, right, you have to already be a wife before someone says, for a man to go, yo, I identify this woman and I think that I want to make her my wife. You can't be out here being a hoe or being a whatever, thinking you're a good woman, and why can't men recognize you're a good woman? Because we can see if you ain't worth shit. Like, there's no way to hide it. But when you're a wife, you stand out. There's no other way to say it. You stand out. You know what I mean? So, being a wife, and to me, I see all of it as protection. And you having a father in the household, that made you the person that you are now. I believe that's one of the key reasons why you got married. Whether it was to me or anybody else, you would have got married because you were a wife before. Like,
I was a wife.
You were a wife before you were a wife. I saw qualities in you, like all the stuff you were talking about, how you have to cook for your brother, serve him, and do all this other stuff. Those are all things that I would instill inside my daughter.
Oh my God.
Right? Not saying that that's where you women, that's your role, but it's something very nice to do for your man.
Yeah, but I would also instill that into my son, to serve a woman, know how to cook for himself and a woman.
Yep.
Very self-sufficient, know how to do laundry for him and a woman, because it is not the woman's role to do everything, go to work, come home. I still think he could be the head of household, but it could still be a partnership.
Yeah, because my mother always taught me how to cook, told me how to wash my clothes, told me how to take care of myself because she never wanted me to depend on a woman solely for those kind of things, because I think that she knows a woman's nature, and I believe she knows that if a woman gets mad or if a woman gets whatever, and she can just withhold that from you.
Or is it because she did all that and she didn't want the burden to be on your wife?
That's also too. But I know that she's happy that you do those stuff for me. I know that she's happy that you've taken on her role, right? Some of her role, but I would say her role in general, where I'm saying that she's a cook for me every day, because I come from a household where there's food every day in my house. And for me to marry somebody who couldn't live up to that standard, right, of food every day. I'm not saying you have to cook every day, because we're not in the same world we were in back then. But I think you should be responsible for the food, for the overall, not saying you paying for it. But I'm saying the overall, you should be
preparing of the food.
Or whatever it is that involves the food, right? Us getting the food, what food we're going to eat, all that. I think that should be you, primarily. Not saying that I can't make my own decisions, you know what I mean? Because I will buy my own food when you're not here. I will make my own food when you're not here. But when you're here, I think that role is for you.
Damn.
Once in a while, I will cook, right? Once in a very rare while, but once in a while, I will cook.
And so then, if I cook every day, then I shouldn't be expected to also do the dishes.
Yes, I agree. You shouldn't be expected to do the dishes. Doing the dishes is one thing that I would do before
cooking. Yeah, I know.
Right? So,
and I hate doing the dishes too. So
yeah, I mean, everybody I think hates doing dishes.
You don't.
But yeah, I don't think I hate doing dishes. But I think most people would hate doing dishes. I just know that's
I really got to put on a show and watch it when I'm doing dishes, because just to take my mind off of doing dishes.
Off of the mundane, yeah. I know what you mean.
And putting them away. The worst chore ever.
What are some other double standards?
I feel like, what was I going to say?
When it comes to sex, that's another double standard.
Oh, I guess a woman doesn't have to be good at sex and a man does. What do you think?
No, not that. A woman better be good at sex.
But then if she's good, some guys will be like, oh, where'd you learn that from? Oh, I guess you've been passed around a couple times.
Yeah, but I don't think guys really think about it like that anymore.
Maybe not anymore.
Yeah, I really think that was an old thing, because now the way people are having sex, the way everybody's so fluid, I don't think people really look at that. I don't think anybody comes with low miles anymore. You know what I mean? I think women with low miles is probably a thing of the past, with just a few exceptions. But I was talking more about when women sleep with a lot of people, they're called hoes, right?
Yeah.
Whenever guys do it,
it's like, all right,
so
man.
That's another double standard. But I believe in double standards. I know you don't, but I subscribe to double standards for many reasons. One being that a lot of double standards benefit men, but a lot of double standards, I also say, benefit women. But women can't open up their eyes to see that it benefits them. You don't think so?
Sure.
Don't disagree to agree. Do you think so?
Yeah.
So if we want to wrap this episode up, right? What can we say about double standards? So what I would say is double standards are needed in relationships. Double standards are needed in
the
life.
World.
Mm-hmm. They're needed in the world. The reason why they are needed is because
there needs to be a yin and yang.
No, men and women are different. We go through different things in this world. We're treated differently in this world. So a double standard is only right because the world is not as equally fair to men as they are to women. I
agree with that. That was a perfect explanation. I couldn't add anything else to that.
Well, on that note,
peace, love, and
happiness.
Bye.